Doubleheader continues from Cameron Indoor Stadium, where the 5th-ranked Duke Blue Devils look to close a 5-game, 10-day homestand with a win against the Citadel. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us tonight with Malcolm Huckabee. I'm Jay Altert. Small sample size. We're only 5 games into the season, but so far, Huck, Duke has looked really impressive.
Yeah, their defense has really been stifling. They're holding opponents below 26% from the three-point line. They're forcing 15 turnovers a game, and when they get out and transition off of those turnovers, they are an exciting team to watch.
Duke has so much talent that they put on the court each and every night. If you had to pick one guy, who sets the tone?
Mark Williams has been impressive in this last 2-game stretch for Duke. You look at what he did Friday night, 14 points, 15 rebounds, and this is where he did a lot of damage on the offensive glass. He had 8 offensive rebounds in that game against Lafayette. Tonight against the Citadel, that's going to be a key theme and matchup for them. Can they keep Duke off the offensive glass?
They know what it takes to beat an ACC opponent. You see here in the opener against Pitt, how do they repeat it?
Well, spacing. You see they have excellent spacing, and then the dribble, drive, and kick. That's going to be a key component for the game tonight. They came into this game averaging 12 threes made per game. They hit 13 against Pitt. That's going to be the formula to pull off the upset.
Well, if making threes is the formula, they're pretty good at that. They take a lot of threes. They make a lot of threes, more than any single program in the country in the last 6 seasons. Yeah, Mike Krzyzewski in year number 47 in his final season with the Blue Devils. He is well aware of the challenge that the Citadel presents tonight. He told us that, look, this is a team that beat Pittsburgh by 15 just a couple of weeks ago to start the season. So Duke on red alert as they try and close out this homestand with a victory.
Yeah, and we spoke with assistant coach John Shire this afternoon, and he said, look, they are a very dangerous team. They're a mature team, and we showed you the stat, the three-point shooting. Defending the three-point line is going to be key tonight for Duke. You cannot give open looks to the Citadel.
Duke in white, the Citadel in, well, as close to Carolina blue as you're going to find outside Chapel Hill. Our officials are Jamie Lucky, Mark Schnur, and Justin Porterfield as we are underway at Cameron Indoor Stadium. It'll be Duke that starts with the ball. Wendell Moore Jr., he's been the go-to guy to start this season. The captain having a breakout year. He's the only player in the country averaging more than 16 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and shooting the ball better than 50%.
And I think the big number for him, it's not even a number, it's leadership. That's the word I think that he brings to this team. He brings calmness, but leadership to a very young team.
Blue Devils going with the same starting 5 that they've used all season. Moore pulls the trigger and connects. Wendell Moore Jr. picking up where he's left off. He has been red hot to start this season, and he opens the scoring here. Citadel starting lineup. Number 33 in light blue, the preseason player of the year in the Southern Conference, Hayden Brown. He gets the offensive rebound here, muscles his way for 2.
Excellent work on the offensive glass.
There's a commotion over on the Citadel sideline. Play has been stopped. We'll step aside while they sort it out. Be right back in Cameron Indoor. Back here at Cameron Indoor Stadium, in a scary scene. Just a minute into this game, Citadel head coach Duggar Bogum to his feet. Had just collapsed on the sideline and is now being escorted off Coach K court. You see Mike Krzyzewski come over and give his well wishes to his opposing head coach.
Just happy to see him up and alert. Class move by Coach K, going over to check on him. Obviously right now it's bigger than basketball, and let's hope that he is okay.
Durham Bongham in year number 7 at the Citadel was speaking with us after shoot around. He said 30 years ago he was a high school JV basketball coach, a North Carolina State trooper. He was in awe of what Mike Krzyzewski was building here at Duke. He never thought in his wildest dreams he'd get to share a sideline with the Hall of Famer. It was great to see him get to his feet and escorted off the court. His team will have to reset. Ripped away from Mark Williams there. Contested 3 off the mark, no good. Step back 3, Jeremy Roach, and that rattles home for the sophomore. Told you the Citadel's going to launch threes all night long. That's what they've come out and done so far, Huck.
And the key thing, Duke has contested. You said it earlier. Those are contested threes.
Not a contested 3 there, and Trevor Keels cashes in. Feed inside, and a terrific finish by Hayden Brown. He's got all 4 points for the Citadel.
And that's what you have to do. Duke is very aggressive in the passing lanes. We talked about it at the tip. They force 15 turnovers a game. You have to get backdoor cuts or use ball fakes.
Offensive foul called against Mark Williams. Assistant coach Jack Castleberry takes over with head coach Durham Bongham falling to his feet in the opening minute of this game. If you're a Citadel player, Huck, how do you turn the page and try and settle into this game without your head coach? That's a good way. Alley-oop to Stephen Clark.
Execute. Right now they're locked in. They're getting some good looks. That right there, beautiful lob play. That's a set play. Duke, poor communication. They're able to get the lob slam.
Feed to Williams inside, and he flushes it home. Mark Williams. Tipped, and it falls right to Clark for an easy slam. Back-to-back buckets for Stephen Clark.
And that fell right into her hand. Looked like Duke was going to get a turnover, and ball bounced right there for the easy, uncontested dunk.
This is the freshman Trevor Keels. Weaves his way in. Feed to Williams. Goes up with it. No good. Foul that he'll get to at the line.
We had the game Friday night, and they gave him a heavy dose of post-entry passes. I think that's going to be a key for tonight for Duke. See if you can get him some touches in the paint. Put him in a ball screen situation, then roll him into the paint. He has a clear size advantage. And certainly that's something I believe Coach K and staff will be talking to the guards about. See if you can get your big, Mark Williams, who's been playing really well for you, touches in the paint.
John Shire told us before the game today, Mark Williams is the guy on the team that when he's playing well takes us to the next level.
Oh, absolutely, and I think defensively, I think is the biggest boost. He had 6 blocks in that last game that we called against Lafayette, and he was dominant on both ends.
5-point early lead for the Blue Devils. The Citadel continues to play without their head coach, Durham Bongham, who was escorted off the court after the opening minute. We'll try and get you an update on him as soon as we get one. That's Jack Castleberry. He's been an assistant coach for Durham Bongham for the last 6 seasons here at the Citadel. Left alone, Wendell Moore Jr. can't cash in. Moff trying to take Moore off the drive, hands it off, no good, tap. Kept alive by the Bulldogs, put up and in, Tyler Moff converts. Duke pushing the tempo, Theo John now settles play. Here's Trevor Keels on the drive, takes it right into three defenders, count it, plus the foul. The freshman Trevor Keels showing off.
Well, you cannot show off better body control. Keels, take the hit, strong finish. Right now, the Duke is loving it.
Citadel usually tries to beat teams with the three, but tonight, going inside.
Well, because Duke is overplaying in the passing lanes, they're trying to get backdoor cuts right here. Beautiful lob play, poor communication by Duke. And that's a couple times now early on in this game where they've been able to slip behind the defense and get some uncontested looks.
The Bulldogs so far tonight at Cameron Indoor, 0 for 3 from 3, but 5 of 6 inside the arc. An offensive foul is the call on the rebound. So it'll be Citadel basketball trailing by 5. With 4.5 minutes into this first half, Malcolm Huckabee, Jay Alter with you. Here's Brent Davis, triggers a three and hits it. The sophomore makes it a 2-point game.
Well, they are really controlling the pace right now. They're getting some good offensive possessions against Duke.
Caro fouled in the air. Freshman will step to the line.
Jay, the number we're going to watch throughout this game, turnovers. Right now, the Citadel has only 1 turnover in this game, and they've been able to run their offense, and I think a big reason they're starting to loosen up that Duke defense because of those backdoor cuts. Now they have to be aware of those, and now that opens up the 3-ball. A good offensive game plan so far early on.
Caro registers his first point of the night, just turned 19. The number 4 player in the ESPN 100 certainly lived up to the hype. So impressive in that debut win against Kentucky. You can see the point production has fell over the last 2 games, but it's not just about scoring. He can do it all.
Well, I think I'm just been impressed when you see him in person, how big he is. Again, how well built his lower body is. He can handle, shoot, pass. There's no holes really in his game.
Defending there, he poked it away. Nobody was there to clean it up. This will stay with the Bulldogs. Spence. Got Caro in the air, goes up strong, swatted away by Theo John. Here's Wendell Moore Jr. Kick out, Caro at 3. It falls. Paulo Caro showing off the range, and Duke's up 7. Open look, off the mark, no good from Jackson Price. Offensive rebound goes to the Bulldogs. Off in trouble, a swarm of Duke jerseys in there, all the way up to Roach for the easy finish. It's a 7-0 Duke run. Citadel timeout.
We talked about Duke's defense. They have been impressive early on. Block, and then Wendell Moore. Can't say enough about his game and the leadership. Another heads-up pass leading to another uncontested layup for Duke. Their defense is so good, they can create offense with excellent defense. That has been the case early on in the season for Duke.
just a 2-point game a minute ago. A 7-0 Duke run has ballooned the lead to 9. Trouble, puts it up, no good. There's Wendell Moore Jr. Pull up three. Can't connect. Bounced around. Roach called for the travel.
Now that's one of the few times Wendell Moore has made a bad decision in this game. A little quick on the three. I still like the matchup. Mark Williams, get him a touch in the post.
It's on the drive, kick out three, Jackson Price, can't hit it. Moore does a nice job to keep that ball in play. Duke will look to push, Bancaro. He can't make it. Another transition through, quick trigger. The hustle from the freshman. After he missed the three, Paulo Bancaro laying out to keep the ball. Although it'll be the Citadel possession arrow after the jump ball. Or no, he did get the timeout. So it's going to be Duke ball after the Bancaro timeout. And those are the hustle plays that the freshman has been known for.
And in the first 5-6 minute stretch of this game, it's really been the Citadel getting those 50-50 balls, loose balls, and now in this last minute here, it seems like Duke now has picked up with their defense and they're getting some of those loose balls, and you can see that's what shifted this score and also momentum.
7 minutes into this first half, the freshman A.J. Griffin set to check into the game, named ACC Freshman of the Week today because he just lit it up on Friday night, 18 points.
Well, you can see why all the NBA scouts are on notice. He had the whole package going. Step back jumpers, strong lower body. That right there, just right into his step back. He was impressive in that game. I think the other thing for him, you look at the numbers, 4 of 6 from the three-point line, but he is another defender for Duke and Coach K. He can guard multiple positions. They just make it so difficult for you to run your offense.
You just look at him physically. He does not look like a freshman.
Not at all, and neither does this guy right here with the ball.
Right on cue, Bancaro. Second effort fouled. He'll head to the line.
And that's one of the areas when we spoke with Coach K on Friday, we asked him about Paulo's game, and he said, look, I want him to be less finesse and be more of that right there. Yes, he has finesse to his game, the step back, the handle, and so forth, but when he has an advantage, he does not want him to settle for jumpers. He wants him to get into the paint and try to see himself at the free throw line.
You want to talk about physicality and guys not looking like freshmen. Duke's used to that. They had a guy named Zion Williamson that certainly fit that mold, but Bancaro and Griffin certainly follow in that mold of just being guys that can make that immediate impact. They don't need to get into the weight room. They come in ready to go.
And it's the first thing that jumps out at you when you see them up close and personal, just how big their lower body is and then their physique. Again, they do not look like freshmen. They look like seniors and upperclassmen physically.
Who's a guy that, in your playing days, just as a freshman, had the full package?
Well, it was Billy Owens at Syracuse. He gave me the business. Walt Williams at Maryland. They made me live in the weight room, and then obviously my second college game was here at Duke. They had a guy by the name of Grant Hill. He was pretty athletic as a freshman as well, too. But you look at these numbers right here and the dimensions. I mean, that's just 6'10", 250, can run. You look at Griffin, 222, solid. Again, just physically gifted to go along with the high skill level.
Duke's defense causes another turnover there. You talked to Mike Krzyzewski this season. He said the number one thing about this team is the defense. That is what we've worked on in the spring, in the summer, in the fall, leading in to this season.
Citadel switches up to a 1-2-2 matchup zone.
10 on the timer. Griffin takes it in. Everybody bought the fake, everything but the finish there from the freshman Griffin. Almost stolen away again instead of 3, and it finally falls for the Citadel, only their second make of the night from beyond the arc. And this is a team that lives and dies by the triple.
Yeah, they're going to keep shooting them, and that time breakdown by Duke. They're able to get the ball left or right and then get a pretty good look from the corner.
Griffin launches the 3, can't connect. Follow finish in perfect position. Joey Baker there to clean up the spill. Baker's first bucket of the night, 10-point lead for Duke. Trying to shoot their way back into the game, back-to-back threes.
Coach K fell back into his seat. That was the scouting report coming into this game. Again, we showed you the stats. They've made the most threes in the last 6 seasons in all of college basketball. You have to be there on the catch when you play them.
Baker fouled shooting 3. He'll be at the line when we come back. The Citadel back-to-back threes. Rudy Fitzgibbons keeping them in it. If you weren't with us at the start of the game, a scary scene about a minute into regulation. The head coach of the Citadel, Duggar Balcom, collapsed on the Citadel sideline, and we just received word that he's been taken to Duke Hospital right here on campus for further evaluation. And our thoughts and prayers with him, his family, the Bulldog family, because that was a really scary start to this game.
Yeah, bigger than basketball right now. What a great man. We really enjoyed talking with him at shoot-around, and I repeat what you said, thoughts and prayers with him and the whole family.
Saturday, it's rivalry weekend in college football on the ACC network and the ESPN app. Get it started with a huddle watch party. Number 10, Wake Forest taking on Boston College. And then you want to talk rivalries, no bigger than Virginia Tech and Virginia, the nightcap, Pittsburgh and Syracuse, all right here on the ACC network. Baker made all 3, so the Duke lead back to 10. Hayden Brown playing with 2 fouls, goes up strong. Griffin wide open. Usually he'll make you pay. Swatted out by Williams. Keels a 3. That's off the mark. Williams going for it again. Can't grab that one. And Trevor Keels called for a reach-in. That's his first. So after A.J. Griffin was named ACC Freshman of the Week earlier today, he starts this game 0 for 3 and checks out for fellow freshman Paulo Banchero.
And Duke has had some open looks. That last one by Griffin, that's wide open in the corner and just unable to convert.
There's Williams in pursuit. Duke just one of their last 8 shooting, but they play so tough defensively. Citadel launching threes, and Brent Davis connects. After they started this game 1 for 7, they've made their last 3 triples.
Yeah, and that's excellent spacing, excellent offensive execution, little dribble handoff. Again, the communication not there for Duke, and you know they're going to shoot threes. You have to be there on the catch.
Jeremy Roach has the answer for Duke. That's 8 points for the sophomore Jeremy Roach. Counted plus the foul. Jackson Price, the freshman out of Georgia on the drive. He'll head to the line to try and complete the and one.
And what's happening, Jay, right now, communication's not here. Their dribble handoff, you have to be out there. Switch. Didn't happen right there. You have to come shoulder to shoulder, communicate. But if you're not there on the catch, I will say it again, they've made the most threes in the last 6 seasons And out of everybody in college basketball, they are going to continue to shoot them. And if you give them that much airspace, they're going to make you pay.
Yeah, they beat Pittsburgh by 15 points to start the season, so already one ACC win. To do it at Cameron Indoor, to do it by coming back from 10 down would be impressive. Foul off the ball on the floor. Looked like Theo John just collided with Jackson Price. It'll stay Blue Devils basketball.
Coach K, you can hear them down there. You can see them talking about the defense. Again, because the Citadel does a nice job running their actions, they do a lot of ball movement, a lot of dribble handoffs and screening action. If you're going to switch, you have to communicate.
1-and-1 for Theo John. The Marquette transfer, played under Steve Wojciechowski for the Golden Eagles, has come in, and Coach K said he's been such a great team, a really mature young man. He's helped his fellow big man Mark Williams really improve. If you've seen Mark Williams take that freshman and sophomore jump, it's because of Theo John going against him every day in practice.
Yeah, and Coach K was adamant about that when we asked him about Mark Williams, what's been the biggest difference, and he credited right off the bat Theo John.
Aiden Brown with a head of steam, backing in, John shovel pass, blocked by Banchero. Duke's been getting it done with defense, and it continues. Extra pass. Wendell Moore can't connect on the three. A 2-on-1 for the Citadel. Moff pulls up and hits it. Tyler Moff in transition. And just like that, it's a 7-point game.
Most coaches would be yelling 2-on-1. You pull up for a three. Not this team. They will pull it if you give them any space. Execution and the transition on point for the Citadel.
Roach, a deep three. No good. Off his back foot, can't connect. Here's Banchero, drives, scoop to the hoop, Paulo Banchero. Transition three, it's good! That's the preseason player of the year of the Southern Conference, Hayden Brown, knocking it down. Inside Banchero, great feed, Theo John the finish. Step back, contested three off the mark. Great defense by Paulo Banchero. The Cameron Crazies will let Brown know it was an air ball. Duke up 8. Duke's defense dominated early, Malcolm, but the Citadel finding their stroke from deep.
Excellent offense right here. This is an individual play, too much airspace, but their actions, dribble handoffs right here. Communication not there for Duke, and they've made them pay right here, though. 2-on-1. Most people would be saying, well, why are they pulling up? They're going to pull up and transition if you give them airspace. You look at the numbers right now, 38%, 5 of 12. But going back to that Pitt game where they won, they made 13 threes. That was going to be the formula coming in tonight. Can they make enough threes against this Duke defense? The
Bulldogs started shooting from three, 1 for 7, but they've made 4 of their last 5. Duke still an 8-point lead. Blue Devils shooting 5 of 14 from 3 themselves. On the timer, Banchero goes up with it and connects. Paulo Banchero, a quick 11 in his first half.
NBA move right there. Again, get them isolated on the block. They doubled you quick the first time. Repost, get it back, see the defense, and then raise up over the defender. Big time move.
Coming off the screen, caught up in the air, and that's a travel. Rudy Fitzgibbons caught between two decisions and gives the ball back to the Blue Devils. Keels launches a three, left it short. Transition again, and he hits it. Hayden Brown, the go-to guy, has 10 of the Citadel's 33.
Coach K up off the bench, not happy, but that's the matchup right there. I think Duke needs to continue to go at them. Don't try to trade threes with the Citadel. Go to your strength in the paint.
Theo John swiped it away, kicked out to Moff. No good. Great feed up to Wendell Moore Jr. for an easy two.
That's why Banchero is going to play for a paycheck, a big one when he leaves Duke. That play right there is a big-time pass.
And Banchero fired up after that Hayden Brown three, slamming the basketball. Not happy with this Duke perimeter defense, and neither is Mike Krzyzewski. Banchero trying to answer, spins through a double team. Working on Hayden Brown, now kicks it out. Roach on the drive, split two defenders. It'll stay Blue Devils basketball with 8 seconds on the shot clock. Every Saturday, the Huddle right here on ACC Network. They'll tell you everything you need to know about ACC football and get you ready for a terrific slate on a college football Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern time, right here on the ACC Network. They reset the shot clock to 20. It'll be Duke basketball underneath their own hoop. Blue Devils leading by 8.
And the change up to the 1-2-2 zone, they've given Duke a couple of different looks. They've gone man, they switched up to some matchup zone. So they're trying to give them different looks.
And now they've set it right back to 8. So 8 seconds to shoot for Duke. Into Banchero. 5 seconds on the timer. Paulo Banchero goes to work. Puts it up, rolls around, does not drop. Working on Banchero. That's a grad transfer against a freshman. And obviously Paulo Banchero going to be a lottery pick. Could be the #1 pick going against a guy that is a grad transfer, Southern Conference preseason player of the year. And yet it's been an extremely fun matchup to watch. Those two guys bang.
John Shire said point blank, he said this is going to be a true test for Paulo. And right there caught a break. Almost got beat back door. Hayden Brown just missed a layup. One of the few mishaps he's had in this game, but this has been a fun battle to watch.
Banchero lines up a three. Too much on it. A.J. Griffin rips down the offensive rebound. Banchero wants it again. And this time, can't hit it. He's frustrated too. You can see it in his face. We'll step aside. 3:52 left in the opening half. Duke up 8. Hayden Brown has been the go-to guy for the Citadel tonight. He has come in as the preseason player of the year in the Southern Conference, leads the way with 13.
And he can do a little bit of everything. Pull up three right here in transition. We saw the previous play, backdoor cut, but this is where he becomes a matchup problem. His ability to stretch the D and knock down the three ball. It's been an impressive first half thus far for Hayden Brown.
And he's been defending the star freshman Paulo Banchero all night, and we were just saying Banchero is going to be playing for a paycheck. Hayden Brown, he's a college basketball player, and that's the beauty of this game is Hayden Brown. He told us, you know, his future isn't in professional basketball. He wants to be a minister, a man with deep faith. Had a fascinating conversation with him this morning, and he said, look, I'm going to use my platform as a college basketball player to try and spread the word of God, continue my faith, and do it as a profession one day.
And it was just a pure joy to speak with him. Duggar Balkum talked about him and what he's meant to the program, and he just could not say enough about that young man. The people that he's impacted, really just an impressive young man on and off the court.
Duke defense continuing to give the Bulldogs fits inside. There's Trevor Keels tripped up. He'll head to the line. Duke in the bonus. Second foul called against Brent Davis.
And Jay, it's been a physical game on both ends. Both teams getting after it. A lot of collisions, guys blocking out. It's really been a really even battle by both teams.
The day before Thanksgiving, this Wednesday, we've got a quadruple header of volleyball and basketball for you. It starts at 3 Eastern with volleyball, and then college hoop doubleheader that evening. Florida State taking on BU, and then Scottie Pippen Jr. and Vanderbilt in Pittsburgh. That's 9 p.m. right here on the ACC Network Wednesday. Keels makes them both. A 12-point lead for Duke. Largest lead of the night. Backdoor not open for Hayden Brown.
And Jay, that's all set up. Wendell Moore, that's a veteran. He knew that play was coming out. He read the scouting report. They were trying to lure him to go and deny. He knew they were trying to set him up for a backdoor all over that play. Wendell Moore again coming up with a defensive stop for Duke.
On the drive. Tipped away. Roth trying to shoot over this Duke defense. They've been relentless all night. They've been relentless all season. Big time three there, ball bouncing around. It falls to Fitzgibbons, and that's his third triple tonight. Moore Jr. on the drive, hesitation, hung in the air, and put it in. And what does the Citadel do? They answer back with a three. Jackson Price buries it. They will not go away. Coach K calls a timeout. Credit this Bulldogs team. They just keep taking them and making them.
Do not blink, because they are going to pull from three-point line. It is impressive to watch them run their offense, dribble drives, handoffs, and if you're not there on the catch with the handoff, they are pulling up. Right here, 50-50 ball, make you pay. And then for me, the big thing is when they get in their offensive actions, the times that Duke has not communicated, they've made them pay every time.
Coming into tonight, Malcolm, you said the Citadel's magic number for three-pointers was 15. They have 10 in this first half, and yet they're down by 8. You might have to double that number.
Well, I think if it wasn't for Duke's defensive pressure, they've been able to create some turnovers in the middle part of the first half. Duke went on a little run. They were turning over the Citadel, but that has changed in this last 5-minute stretch.
Free throws have been a big difference as well. Duke 15 of 16 from the line. The Citadel 0 for 1. Big discrepancy there. That's the difference in this game. Duke has the basketball, up 8. swiped away by Rudy Fitzgibbons. It'll stay Duke basketball underneath. Inside Carroll, fading away. No good. He'll get two at the line with 1 minute and 8 seconds left in this opening half. For those that weren't with us earlier, the Citadel hanging tough with Duke, and they're doing it without their head coach. Duger Balcom collapsed on the Citadel sideline in the opening minute of this game. It's been assistant coach Jack Castleberry who's taken over as head coach. And for a scary situation, they have kept their poise and they have hung with the number 5 team in the country in this first half.
Yeah, and they're a veteran team. They have a lot of experience, a lot of guys that have played a lot of college basketball games. So, you know, if you're going to go on the road, you definitely want to have experience on your side.
Aiden Brown missed both at the line, had a chance to make it a 2-possession game. Moore open in the corner, can't connect, and a whistle called. It'll be Citadel basketball with 47 seconds left. Offensive foul called against Jason Roach.
Tough break. Let's see. He's trying to. Yeah, I mean, look. You think back the old days. That might have been allowed, but right there, they're going to call that right in front of the referee, and easy call for them to make.
And it's on Brown, not Roach, and that's Hayden Brown, the Southern Conference preseason player of the year. That's his 3rd foul. Done much of this first half playing with 2. It picks up his 3rd with less than a minute to go. 4 seconds separated the shot clock and the game clock. Into Banchero, muscling his way to the rim. It doesn't drop. Banchero, second effort. That time it does. 4 seconds for the Bulldogs. Moff has to heave it, and he does. Does not go. And Duke puts up 52 in the first half. Mike Krzyzewski's team heads into the locker room with a 10-point advantage.
Well, he said he wanted less finesse, more power from Banchero.
He delivered there. Banchero, 13 first half points. Duke up 10. You'll be in the studio after the break with Drew Carter and Luke Hancock.
It's our time, we on the top, but we had to climb. We just getting started, we in our prime,
Duke, the number 5 team in the country, trying to close a 5-game, 10-day homestand strongly before they face Gonzaga on Friday night. Malcolm Huckabee, Jay Alter with you. If you like points, you came to the right place. 94 of them between these two teams, and it starts with the 3-point shooting.
Yeah, the Citadel came into this game averaging 12 threes made per game. They're on pace to double that. They had 10 in the first half. Excellent spacing on their offense, and then in transition, if you do not close out on shooters, they are not going for layups. They are pulling up from beyond the arc. They executed in transition almost to perfection to close out the first half. Duke has got to make an adjustment. Coach K not happy with the 3-point field goal percentage defense.
On the other side, the freshman Banchero has set the tone.
And he was the one bright spot for Duke. Started off hitting a 3 here, defensively getting after it. I was was impressed with his ability to set up his teammates, but that's where he needs to do the damage. Down low on the block. Do not settle for jumpers. Go to your advantage. Use your size and strength.
It's a Citadel that starts with the basketball. Made 10 threes in that first half, and yet find themselves trailing by 10. Going inside to Stephen Clark. Rolls around the rim, no good. Clark, second effort, and that falls.
That's the start you want. Quiet the crowd, and then they come out in a 3-2 now. Give them a different look. And back to the 1-2-2 matchup zone. So now they've continued to switch defenses against Duke.
Keels lines up a three, too much on it. Williams rips down the rebound, goes up strong, and that drops for Mark Williams, cashing in on the offensive glass.
Well, he had a quiet 4 points in that first half. Really did not play a lot of minutes, but certainly they need him in there defensively that time, though, getting after it on the offensive glass.
Duke has 54 points. You want to talk about getting easy points? Well, 15 of those have come from the foul line. 20 of those have been dunks or layups.
Yeah, and I think the offensive glass, that's going to be another area. Remember Mark Williams in the game we had Friday against Lafayette, he had 8 offensive rebounds. And see if he can continue to get on the offensive glass off of any misses.
4 offensive rebounds tonight. He's camped on the post, calling for the basketball. They give it to him. Kick out. Wendell Moore Jr. He's got it! Wendell Moore Jr. 12 points tonight, and he's on pace for another triple-double. 5 assists, 5 rebounds at half as well.
Not sure anybody else playing better in college basketball than Wendell Moore Jr. right now.
He's having a breakout junior season. He's the only player in the country averaging more than 16 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and shooting it better than 50%. He can bring up the ball, too.
Yeah, that's the part that really has impressed me the most. Obviously the scoring, but his ability to set his teammates up and be an assist guy really, I think, has been the key for Duke early on.
How did that not drop for Bancaro? Defense on Hayden Brown, swatted by Williams. Stephen Clark puts it up, and just enough touch on that ball to arc over Williams' outstretched hand. Clark has 10 to the Citadel. They will not go away.
And that's how you use your body. Clark getting into the shot blocker, Williams. Nice little soft jump hook.
Offensive glass. That's been the go-to for Duke tonight. Bancaro, the beneficiary of that one. He's up to 15. Hayden Brown grabbing at his right knee. He's the Southern Conference preseason player of the year. Getting medical treatment. It's been an active night on the Citadel sideline for the medical staff. If you weren't with us earlier, the opening minute of this game, head coach Duggar Bonkum, he collapsed just 63 seconds into this game. He's currently at the Duke Hospital right here on campus receiving medical treatment. But his Bulldog team continues to soldier on without him. Jack Castleberry, the assistant head coach who stepped up on the Citadel sideline tonight. I think he'd be really proud of how his team has played in his absence. Stay Duke basketball underneath.
Let's see if they go back down low in the post. Even against zone, still try to work it around and either get Bancaro or Williams in the paint.
Give and go. Wendell Moore Jr. Count it, plus the foul.
They got the message. Don't settle. Beautiful pass by Mark Williams to Wendell Moore Jr. And that's how you execute out of bounds underneath. Take a look at these numbers right now. The stat sheet. To me, the 2 things that jump out, field goal percentage, he's shooting the ball lights out, but the assist. His ability to set guys up, to me right now, that is what is putting him up at the top for ACC Player of the Year.
Largest lead of the night for Duke, 14. Seattle's got a piece of it, kept alive by the Bulldogs. Here's Tyler Moff on the drive. Banchero rips down the rebound. Immediately puts his head up. He's so dangerous as a passer in transition. Moore feeds it to Williams. Kick out, Banchero a three. It's good! Paulo Banchero up to 18 points tonight to lead all scorers. And a jump ball. No, a foul called in on Trevor Keels. That's his second.
Jay, back to that previous possession. Coach K has to be pleased with how unselfish his team is playing. When guys are getting doubled, they're giving it up. If they see guys open for better opportunities, they're giving it up. Unselfish basketball, but it's all set up by the pressure defense.
It's an 8-0 Duke run. The Crazies are alive, loud and proud. Williams the block. Here's Banchero in transition. Feed inside to Moore. Here's Roach on the cut. That's beautiful basketball.
They are putting on a clinic right now offensively.
You can cut that tape and show it to any team in the country at any level. That's how the game's supposed to be played. It's a 10-0 Duke run, all Blue Devils. Duke riding a 10-0 run, and they're doing it with passing.
Coach K was asked about the closeness of this team. He said it's a very close team. They're playing unselfish right now. Wendell Moore Jr., beautiful backdoor cut that time. Unselfish play. They are all giving it up when they're doubled or they see their teammates in better positions to score. It's been a clinic offensively in this last 3-minute stretch for Duke.
The 1-2 punch of Paulo Banchero and Wendell Moore Jr., who've seen it all season long. The Citadel, they're going to keep chucking threes, and for good reason. That's the 11th triple to drop tonight for the Bulldogs, shooting 55% from three, and yet they're down by 16.
But they're still hanging around, and the thing with them is if you can shoot the three ball like they do, you're going to have a chance.
How about Mark Williams? We have liftoff from the sophomore. On the drive, he lost it. Up ahead to Roach. Went for it all. Great job. Transition defense. Stephen Clark to block it. But Wendell Moore Jr. kept the play alive and put it home. Foul called against Wendell Moore. Duke's got a 20-point lead and a rack attack.
Here's a
number 1 Gonzaga. Timmy, wow.
Crazy. They're hungry to be stars.
Moore on the attack and slams it down.
When the lights go out, my light will only shine brighter.
What a week for college basketball. 2 must-see matchups featuring Gonzaga tomorrow night. 1 versus 2 with UCLA. And then Mike Krzyzewski of this Duke team. That'll be a great game Friday night, 10:30 Eastern time on ESPN.
That is going to be a fun matchup, and I think there will be a few NBA scouts in attendance at that one right there. And two teams playing at a high level, star players all around.
Right on cue, Paulo Banchero hammers it home. He's got 20 on the night. Up ahead to Moore. 2. Duke on an 18-3 run in the last 4 minutes. They've blown this game wide open. Largest lead of the night at 24. And they've done it with defense. Roach rips it away again. Here's Baker on the move. Blocked. And the Citadel moving in transition. Hayden Brown on the flush.
I tell you what, although Duke has blown this one open a little bit, Hayden Brown is impressive. That dude can ball, man. I mean, defensively solid. That time just showing off the hops.
Inside of Theo John, the Marquette transfer bats it out. Keeps Duke on possession. Wendell Moore Jr., 7 assists tonight. In control. Feeds off to Banchero. Steps into it and hits. Paulo Banchero just showing off right now.
Yeah, he's got the whole package. I mean, that's a guy that's 6'10", 250 pounds, that can play like a 2-guard, can handle like a point. I mean, he just really very few holes in his game. It's just impressive to watch him operate.
Calling for the ball and he gets it. Feeds inside Theo John, who's tangled up. Good time to remind you, ACC Network this Saturday. It's rivalry weekend. Kicking off at noon Eastern time. Top 10 Wake Forest against Boston College. Then it's the 103rd Battle for the Commonwealth. Virginia Tech taking on Virginia. The day capped off by Kenny Pickett in Pittsburgh. Taking on Syracuse, 7:30 Eastern time. All three right here on the ACC Network. Keels on the drive. He draws the foul. He'll get 2 at the line. But Duke playing great basketball. A 20-5 run in the last 5 minutes. They're up big. Paulo Banchero has been a human highlight reel tonight, Malcolm.
Well, when you're evaluating young players, you try to find holes in their games. He can knock down the 3 ball. He's excellent on defense. He's 6'10", 250 pounds, matchup nightmare with a smaller guy. And then he can put the ball down on the floor, pull up from the mid-range. He does not have any holes in his game. It's easy to see why he is going to be a guy that's playing for a paycheck when he leaves Duke.
He's Malcolm Huckabee. I'm Jay Alter. Still 11:59 left in this game, but Duke comfortably in the driver's seat. They've blown this game open on a 21-5 run in the last 5.5 minutes. And while Duke's attention can remain on the Citadel for the next 12 minutes, you and I can start to look ahead a little bit because John Shire, associate head coach, future head coach of this Duke program, he told us earlier today it's all about energy cycles. And they had a 5-game, 10-day homestand. This was the final game of that. It kind of closes this energy cycle. And then a couple of days to rev up for the #1 team in the country, Gonzaga.
Yeah, and that's one of the things, though, he wanted to avoid. Said, we can't look past the Citadel. There's still 11:29 to go. Again, now they've opened up a sizable lead, but the way they shoot the ball, I'm not going to count them out until there's zeros on the clock.
No doubt about it. They battled all night long. But looking ahead to #1 Gonzaga, you and I can do it. What excites you most about that matchup?
Obviously, everything. You got pros all around on both sides. You got Chet Holmgren, you got Timmy, you got Banchero, you got right now, in my opinion, Wendell Moore. Not too many people playing better than him. You got some really interesting matchups, and then obviously you got the coaching matchup, Mark Few against Coach K. Can't wait for that one.
That's Friday, 10:30 Eastern time. Gonzaga, meanwhile, they've got the #2 team in the country tomorrow night. And we're so excited to say that Dick Vitale back on the call, an inspiration to us all. Big part of the college basketball family. He's been motivating our entire group from the sidelines, and he's hopping back on the mic tomorrow night.
Cannot wait for it. Welcome back, Dickie V.
Deep 3 here, and it's good. I'll tell you what, Rudy Fitzgibbons not going away. The Citadel, that's their 12th three of the night. They're shooting 12 of 22.
If you want to run transition offense and learn from one of the best in college basketball, watch the Citadel.
It's a team that beat Pittsburgh by 15 to open the season. They will absolutely be a contender in the Southern Conference. This is from the parking lot.
And it's all set up, though, by guys running lanes. Again, obviously they shoot it well, but they do a nice job blocking out, obviously, defensive rebounding, and then they fill lanes, and they will make you pay if you're not there on the catch.
Backdoor open. Bulldogs still fighting. Montana 7. This is his 4th school in 5 years. Started with Nate Oates in Buffalo, then went to a junior college, then Division II Mansfield. 4th and final stop at the Citadel. Getting to play at Cameron Indoor. And making plays like this, Huck.
Beautiful backdoor cut right here. Again, you knock down the 3 ball. You have to respect the 3. Get them overplaying. Backdoor cut, and that's all set up, though, because of the spacing. They had Duke spread out all over the floor, which created space for him to go backdoor. Beautiful execution on the offensive side.
Checks back into the game. He leads all scorers with 22 points, and for good reason. A lot of the attention of this freshman class of this Duke team goes to Banchero, but fellow freshman Trevor Keels, he's been setting some records already here on this Duke campus. He loves the weight room, and he broke Sheldon Williams' freshman bench press record earlier this year. 6'4", 220 pounds. They've had a lot of talented freshmen, so Keel's the guy to put up more reps at the bar than anybody else. Here he is with the ball now, 11 points to his name. 4th Duke player in double figures tonight. Keels blocked from behind.
I really like how Keels pressures the ball.
Davis fading away, uses the window, and that drives. He's got 10.
Tough pull-up jumper, fading away off the glass.
The handle. It's a jump ball, will stay with Duke.
And this right here, again, not bad D. Mark Williams, all 7 foot of him out there and still able to get that one to drop. And that's a beautiful individual move by Davis.
Moore left alone in the corner. No good. Picks up full court after the miss. We've mentioned a few times tonight, but this is the 5th game in 10 days here for Duke on the homestand. You would never know it. Going for every loose ball, dominant on defense all night long. Brown draws the foul inside. You know, their energy is as lively. You'd think they would have had a 2-week layoff, not 5 games in 10 days.
Yeah, and that's something that John Shire talked to us about. He said, look, we've been talking to our guys all day leading up to this game about the energy. Do not let your energy fall off.
Every Saturday right here on the ACC Network. You can start your college football Saturday learning everything you need to know. Triple header this weekend on the ACC Network. It starts with the Huddle, 10 a.m. Eastern Time on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. Baker on the drive, and he's fouled. Joey Baker, the lone Duke player to experience the NCAA tournament in a Duke uniform. Theo John went there in a Marquette uniform, but he is the senior captain, prolific three-point shooter, but more than anything provides that veteran presence, which is much needed with this young team.
Yeah, and I think he is going to be an X-factor guy, in particular as they get deeper into the ACC season. And also, you think about these games, Gonzaga, Ohio State, they're going to need his three-point shooting and for him to hit timely shots when he gets minutes.
With no room, somehow buries it. Brent Davis, his third three, and he didn't have an inch to spare.
One of the quickest releases I've seen early in the season. I mean, my goodness, that is a quick release from deep through nothing but bottoms.
The Citadel shooting out of their minds, 13 of 23 from three, and yet it has not mattered because of plays like that. Duke getting everything they want at the rim. The last two, courtesy Mark Williams. Offensive rebound, Brown. Batted away. It'll stay Citadel basketball when we come back. Credit the Bulldogs. They've come in fearless from three. They've knocked down 13 of them, and yet still down 19. A dominant Duke lead.
At hair loss?
Well, there's no doubt about it. The biggest storyline in college basketball this season is it's Mike Krzyzewski's final year. And before the season was announced, Jon Scheyer, a Duke legend, both as a player, winning a national championship in 2010, and also part of Coach K's coaching staff for the better part of the last decade, being named the head coach. Malcolm Huckabee, Jay Arnold are with you. We were speaking with Jon Scheyer yesterday, and I love the line he told us, Huck, is his focus right now in season is to be the best associate head coach he can be for Coach K, while also having half an eye on the future of the program. As Mark Williams throws another one down, he's a human highlight reel, dunk after dunk. Grabs the rebound on the other end too. And you take a look at Jon Scheyer's first ever class as a head coach that he's going to welcome in, #1 in the country.
I say the future is very bright, but I think the key thing for that, all of these guys know they are not playing for Coach K. They're going to be playing for Jon Scheyer, and I think that's key in this. And I would say the future is starting off to a pretty good start with that recruiting class coming in.
You and I did his first ever game as a head coach when Coach K last year had to miss a game due to COVID. It was against Boston College. They came back to win that game in the final minutes. He just has a steady presence about him. And he seems like the perfect fit to take over the big shoes that Coach K will leave behind.
And also, let's not forget about his staff as well, too. I think a guy that really kind of under the radar, Nolan Smith. We've been here the last 2 games, and Nolan Smith, we've seen him out here working not only with the bigs, but for me, his job that he's done with Wendell Moore. I saw him out here before shoot-around, before practice, working with him, making reads. You can see the improvement in Wendell Moore Jr.'s game, and a lot of that has to go with the work that Nolan Smith has done with him. So again, not only does Jon Scheyer have obviously the knowledge, but also I think the staff that he has around him, there's a lot of familiar faces, and again, I think that future's looking pretty good.
got the Cambric Crazies behind him too. They've been loud and proud all night long. A commanding 89-66 lead, trying to close out this 5-game, 10-day homestand with a win. The Citadel just keeps bombing threes. Hayden Brown connects. That's 14 made threes down for the Bulldogs.
Well, if you don't know that name, I'm going to tell you right now, that dude can play, man. I mean, he is preseason SoCon Player of the Year, but he has put on a show tonight.
So has Paulo Banchero at another rim rocker to his tally of 26 points.
And he's just, I mean, again, you can't appreciate how strong he is. 6'10", 250. His lower body is just so strong. And I'm not sure what the conversation is. They called a tech. Not sure who it is on though.
The officials discussing this now over at the monitor. That Banchero's 26 points. That's good for a career high in a Duke uniform. So it's a.
Now from that angle, that did not look like a flop. That's just a guy that's basically getting muscled by a 6'10", 250-pound guy. Now, again, we have the luxury of replay. And I like this rule right here to try to eliminate flopping warnings. But that case right there, I didn't think there was a clear flop right there. That's just a guy giving up a lot of weight.
Law flops it up. Clark can't corral it. Here's Banchero showing off the handles. Lobs it up, and Mark Williams throws it down. How good is Paulo Banchero in transition? He has 6 assists now after that latest one to Williams. 8 rebounds to go along with 26 points. Wendell Moore Jr. skying. He went for it all. Could not flush it. It stays down.
Again, right there, just going up, trying to contest. Yeah, that's, again, it's a foul. Certainly, though, nothing malicious, just a guy going up, trying to make a block. Unfortunate, Wendell Moore Jr. Took an awkward and hard fall.
Stephen Clark is fouled out of the game. Really the lone big man for this Citadel team.
Now again, if they're reviewing the foul, again, from the replay we saw, it just looked like a guy going to make a play on the ball. No arm swinging, really not even much in terms of hip, body, and I'm not even sure he made contact with his head. I just think.
Take another look. I'm with you, Malcolm. I think it's a basketball play from Clark. He's already fouled out of the game, and the officials did review it. It is going to be a flagrant one. It's their call that matters, not ours.
And again, when you slow it down, at least the first time we saw it, did not look like he made much contact with the head area, but certainly the referees have different looking at angles. Now let's see right here. Yeah, hard to tell really even. from that angle, again, obviously player safety is what's most important. And you look at the rule.
Not a legitimate play on the ball. See, to your and I vantage point, I thought it was a legitimate play on the ball.
Yeah, I mean, again, I didn't think it was excessive. I did not think it was an illegitimate play on the ball. Guys going up to try to make a block. That one right there. Otherwise, it's been a really clean game by the refs, but that one I would disagree with right there.
Moore feed to Banchero, who puts it in. Wendell Moore Jr. now 9 assists to go along with 20 points and 7 rebounds. Still 4:40 to play as we are on triple-double watch. Remember, Moore became one of just 5 Duke players of the Army game in Duke's entire program history to record a triple-double. He might do it twice in the same season. Just needs 3 rebounds and 1 more assist. Banchero for 30. Rattles it and out, no good. Williams keeps it alive. Moore settles it down. 4 minutes left. Moore on the drive. Lost the handle. Puts it up and hits it. He makes it look so easy. Wendell Moore Jr.
It looked like just everybody stopped right there, as if the play had stopped. It didn't. Wendell Moore Jr. picks it up and just shoots a casual baseline jumper.
Moore Jr. and Duke flexing their muscles up 98-72. You'd argue the best player in the country right now is Wendell Moore Jr.
Not too many people playing better than him. Assist, check. Right there, driving to the basket, finding his teammates for wide open looks. It's been impressive. Understanding time and score early on. He got everybody else involved, but the improved shooting stroke. Over 30% from the three-point line, over 50 from the floor. I think the big number for tonight, though, Jay, 0 turnovers. He had 0 turnovers in this game. He is just playing phenomenal all around on both ends of the court for Duke.
So 0 turnovers. He's got 8 rebounds, 9 assists, 22 points. So his night is likely over with 3:20 left to play. But he almost became the first Duke player in the history of the program, a long history, to have 2 triple-doubles. No one's ever done it.
And when we talked with Coach K on Friday, he said he believes he's the best on-ball, or one of the best on-ball defenders in college basketball, and he's doing a little bit of everything for Duke.
He's the only player, Wendell Moore Jr., in the country averaging more than 16 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and shooting better than 50%. Mike Krzyzewski making a sub. Jeremy Roach's night is over. Bates Jones enters the game for the Blue Devils. We remind you, what a terrific doubleheader. Wednesday night, right before Thanksgiving. Florida State take it on BU, and then Scottie Pippen Jr. at Vanderbilt in Pittsburgh, capping off the night. Loaded day. Volleyball in the afternoon, college basketball doubleheader. Join us Wednesday here on the ACC Network. Kick out. Looking for 100. That goes begging for Jalen Blakes. Now it's 100. A.J. Griffin throws it down. Joey Baker went for it all there, no good. Here's a 3, Jason Roach off the mark. Well, if you like points, you pick the right game. Duke has 100, the Citadel with 75, and we were just informed. Check out this stat. the Bulldogs have made the most threes of any opponent in the history of Cameron Indoor Stadium. Now, they do, albeit it's a loss, but what an achievement for this Bulldogs team.
Well, they made it interesting. Again, people are going to look at this score and say, all right, this was a blowout. But really in that first half and really for maybe the first 5 minutes of the second, I mean, they were right there trading blows with Duke. They were able to execute offensively, but man, they shoot a lot of threes.
And impressively, they've done it without their head coach, Duggar Bockham, on the sideline. He collapsed in the first minute of this game, a really scary situation. The latest update we were told was at the end of the first half, he was taken to the hospital on campus here at Duke University for further medical evaluation, and now a 17-3 for his Citadel team. Although he didn't see it on the sideline, he has to be so proud, and Duggar Bockham's team will forever be known until someone hits more than 17 as the team that's made the most threes of any opposing team in Cameron. Tough take from Theo John. Duke with 104 points to close out what has been a dominant 5-game, 10-day homestand. Another made three.
I think their record is going to be safe for a while. They can shoot the three ball and shoot it well. Well, that was not the issue in this game.
Offensive rebound. It's good. Jalen Blakes nails the three. The pride of the Blair Academy. Another star freshman to watch. Puts Duke at 107 for the night. The Cameron Crazies are up to the 107-81 victories. The Blue Devils can now eye a meeting on Friday night with Gonzaga. They improved to 6-0 and sweep a 5-game homestand here at Cameron.
Well, hard to find somebody playing better than Wendell Moore Jr. right now. 22 points, 9 boards, 8 assists. And Banchero, Paolo Banchero, to me, he's a guy that's going to be a lock for the lottery in the NBA draft.
28 points for Banchero to lead all scorers. Wendell Moore Jr. almost records what would have been his second triple-double of the season. Now Duke, a dominant win, 107 points, the most they've scored all season. The Citadel, 81. That's our final score from Cameron Indoor Stadium. For Malcolm Huckabee, our entire terrific crew, I'm Jay Alter saying so long from Durham.